Right, so it's pouring with rain outside and it is currently 20 to 10 at night. However, there is one thing that New York is when you've got rain, and that's glow-slung, cloud and exciting. So I bought this off of Amazon as a rain cover for my GFX 100S. And I'm just going to show you how to use it. So what you do is before anyone asks, I know that this camera is weather resistant, but anyone that's owned a weather resistant camera doesn't mean it's waterproof. So that's why you have to invest in quality gear to make sure that your not inexpensive camera is still safe. So one quick incision. Again, do follow the instructions on the pack. This is not a how-to guide. Once you've done that, what you've created, or what this thing was designed to do, hold on for the science part, careful with the candle, romantic, nighttime. Can you see? Click. Okay. So I don't think this is a Fuji accessory, but as you'll see shortly, that over the hood provides you with exceptional rain cover.
So I'm filming on the roof. It's pouring with rain. Hopefully you can hear me better, because I bought myself a new microphone, because someone kept complaining about wind. But if I put you here, that should be perfect. The Swedish have a wonderful phrase, is that there's no such thing as bad weather. You're just badly dressed. So, I've got the GFX here under my very official rain cover. What we're going to do is, I don't know if you can see, there's some really interesting low-slung rain cloud on the back of New York, which we're going to try and take advantage of. And I'm going to shoot the Empire State Building, I'm going to shoot Hudson Yards, and I'm going to shoot down here. Then we're going to try and understand exactly how well this camera performs under low light in a really dynamic and interesting situation. I hope we get some really interesting shots. As I said, the rain cover is over $1,000, so just watch out. Just make sure it's not an official Fuji product, so I can't vouch for its awesomeness, but seems to be holding up quite well. The build quality definitely shining through. Anyway, let's take some shots. I just also realised that my Fuji X-T4 is not under a sophisticated rain cover, but this bad boy's been through a lot. Okay, so hopefully that hasn't all gone to pot. But we've been up here for 5 minutes max. I'm soaked. Sorry, it's not very Swedish of me. I'm soaked. So I'm going to take my new bad boy inside. Take a look at some of the views we were shooting. Don't know if you can see that. Probably almost certainly not, because it won't be exposed for it. But let's get editing. Oh, it's cold. Still beats watching Netflix. That's the thing. It still beats watching Netflix. Get off Netflix.
What I've just realised is that I wasn't shooting raw. This hurts my soul, but I figured it would actually be... I was messing around with some of the X-Pan settings. I will do another video about X-Pan, because it's amazing what it can do, but that only shoots JPEG. Long story short, all of these are in JPEG, and I believe the colour profile that I have my JPEG set to is classic chrome, which is, in my opinion, the best setting. So these are not raw files, so these are not 200 megabyte beasts, which meant this only took half an hour to import. I'm kidding. Let's have a look at what we've got. I quite like some of these images. I'm going to check them for... Jesus. Can I see what people are doing in the buildings? So this is the Jenga building. It's one of my favourite buildings in New York. But I've shot all of these on the f2 110. So this is a portrait lens. At various different speeds, at sort of 1000 ISO. I'm liking the clouds and how these all look. And I think I did some longer exposures to see what would happen with a little bit more light there. I will have a... That's actually quite nice as an effect. It's kind of similar to water, but I think that's like a... Yeah, it's a 6.5 second exposure, and then I kicked it up to 13 seconds. But then you lose all the cloud, but you get these rather striking... I'm totally doing another sharpness test. I'm addicted to this. This is my favourite shot so far. The 13 seconds. I think I did a 30-second exposure. That's this. So that's a 30-second exposure in a JPEG. It's phenomenal detail preservation. I just adore this camera's flexibility. Again, that's 3 seconds, just trying to get a little crisper. Then we moved over. This was a compositional nightmare. Shooting with a portrait lens, trying to get landscape when I don't actually have that much roof to play with, was super difficult. Some potential colours that are interesting because it was raining. I can totally see in that apartment, by the way. It costs $8.5 million to live there. And what do you get? Me looking at you. Don't love these. Don't love that. That is interesting. So these are the shots we got out of the camera. I like this one. But I think my favourite one is the 30-second exposure here. Or is that a little flat on second viewing? Maybe it's the first one we took that's really quite spicy. Yeah, I'm going to have a play around with this one because I think it's the most visually compelling and there's a lot we can do with this. I'm just furious it's not a RAW file. I've taken another couple of photos if you want to have a little look. I did a portrait session with my friend Alex, who's a fellow photographer. He's a cool guy. This guy's a famous comedian, Mark something. I'll do a separate thing about the podcast that I shot the other day. I really like these images. This is my local bar. Just having some fun with local people there. Again, love this shot. Love this shot. Let it load. Again, we're shooting JPEGs out here. My God. My God. These aren't edited. But they're bloody JPEGs. But I have to say, they look bloody good. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for watching and doing what you do. I do read all of your comments. And I do really realise that you want me to make videos about skin tones and videos about macro and portrait and stuff. I am new to this, alright, so I'm doing the best I can, and I'll try and turn out some new content, but as for this, I will bid you adieu and sail off into the good night. Take care. Bye-bye.